And we've returned. Let's get to the next case. $21 out of 30, so we're looking at the final district pretty soon. In the south. Yep, in the south. No leg to stand on. Oh boy. Philadelphia. What a relief, Matthew. We finally got the mind protection spell and cured Gwen of her demonic nightmares. Now the evil demons can't spy on us, and Arthur told us everything he could about them. Yeah, Arthur already told us about the rift between the demons 30 years ago, and how he was part of a rebellion that rose up against the Demon Queen. The rebels finally locked her in a cage somewhere between our world and the Netherworld, and that cage was secured with 5 keys. The evil demons already have 4 of these keys, and if they get the last one, they will multiply in strength and invade our world. They'll suck the life out of every living thing to sustain themselves. So we've got to keep the Queen locked up, but how? One of Arthur's allies made the keys. He was the only one who knew what the 5th key is and where to find it. But he was killed years ago by the Queen's soldiers. Arthur only knew his demon name, Rathimio, but nothing about the human identity he assumed while he hid in our world. Arthur spent years investigating on his own, but all he found out was that his ally was hiding somewhere on the East Coast. Well, now that our minds are safe from invaders, we can join forces with Arthur and continue the search for clues about his dead demon accomplice and the 5th key. It's just a matter of... Gwen, what's up? Matthew, you've got to get down here right away. Where is here? And why? I went for a walk through the Highsmith University campus, and at the boat dock on the river, I found a body. The death doesn't look normal. I know we've got other stuff to do, but this honestly looks like a case that only we can handle. Got it. Matthew, you should probably go check out the boat dock with Gwen and tell us what you find. Also putting some socks on right now, in case you couldn't tell. Matthew, it feels so good to be back on my feet and working again. But speaking of work, I hadn't expected to walk right into a case, and this body is one of the more gruesome I've seen. It seems he was stabbed in the stomach, which is common enough. But then his legs looked like they were eaten off. What kind of creature could do this? Was it some wild animal loose on campus? This guy's clothes show that he's on the rowing team. Could there be something dangerous living in the river? Ben should be able to tell us more after the autopsy. In the meantime, what other clues do we have? Whoever dropped this student ID card could be a witness. The name is illegible. Let's run the picture through the database. And maybe these torn pieces of foam are something important. Let's put them back together. I'll send a quick message to the chief to tell him we're on the case. And let's get to work. I need to get some stars. Sit tight, everybody. Okay, I got 7 stars. So, let's see who this student is. And I still got the 9, Muriel Cove. Matthew, the student ID card belongs to Muriel Cove. It says she's a freshman marine biology major. Let's see if this Muriel Cove knew our victim. Miss Cove, we found your student ID over by the boat dock. Oh, thank you. I was looking all over for it. The boat dock is also where we found a member of the crew team murdered. As campus security, we're looking into his death. Murder? Oh my. Can you identify this boy? Yeah, that's Eric Prince. He's second C on the crew team. I sometimes see his team trained while I'm doing my field work for my courses. Right, you're a marine biology major. Eric's legs appear to have been chewed off by a large animal. Do you know of anything that could have done that? Chewed off? No, the biggest things living in that river are carp, and they never attack a human. Well then, can you tell us anything else you know about Eric? I know he hung out in the university garden a lot. Maybe you'll find something there to help your case. I have to get to class now, but good luck with your investigation. Well, Matt, we've got another lead. Let's head to the garden. I'll be taking care of this first. Got it. Matthew, this is a foam hand, like the kind fans have at sporting events. It's got the university colors, and it says, Go Highsmith Rowers. So a fan of the rowing team was here, and unhand my hand this instant. I'm sorry? I shall require it to support Highsmith in the upcoming regatta. Well, I'm afraid the race will be canceled. We just found a member of the team murdered. Murder? Horrific. We're with campus security investigating. Who might you be, and why are you dressed like that? My name is Johann Zeit. I provide team spirit at the sporting events here at Highsmith University. I am outfitted to resemble Reginald Highsmith, who founded Highsmith University in 1733. Well, Mr. Zeit, while you're here, we'd like to ask you a few questions. Mr. Zeit, since you knew the university rowing team... about the athlete we found murdered. I do not personally mix with the team members. I prefer to support them from afar so as not to distract their concentration. But I can tell you that this deceased young man was the finest member of the team. Do not misunderstand me. The team as a whole is quite strong, but his work ethic was heads above the others. Interesting. Is it possible he was put out of commission by another member of the team? Oh, heavens no! This team is thick as thieves. When they assemble themselves in a boat, they operate as a single organism. Speaking of organisms, the victim's legs were bitten off by a large animal. Do you know of anything that could have done that? Well, the rowers have superstitions of a kraken-like being that lives in the river and devours the regatta's losing teams. A freshwater kraken, huh? Well, that's an interesting concept. Oh, it is mere legend, of course, and seeing as Highsmith is not in the habit of losing, the poor boy's demise is certainly due to something else altogether. Now I must be going. I am already late for a scrimmage match with the Highsmith Footballers Club. Look, Matthew, this hat is wet, but we're nowhere near the river. There are initials embroidered on it, EP. Those are the victim's initials. Since the hat is wet, it must have come from the crime scene. Let's get a sample from that weird stain on it. And what's up with this gym bag? Hey, Muriel said the victim was second seat on his crew team, and the bag has a number 2 on it. This is definitely the victim's bag. Let's see if there's a clue in it. Gonna get some more stars. Sit tight, everybody. Okay. I've earned every star. Sorority Ring. Matthew, there's a ring in the victim's gym bag. There are Greek letters on it. Pi Mu Upsilon. Hey, that's a sorority. Seems like Prince was close to someone in the sorority. It says here the sorority president's name is Vanessa Sadler. She can help us find the ring's owner. Hello? Is anyone here? Vanessa Sadler? Yes, hi. You missed the party, but there's still some mixers and stuff left. Can I get you something? Screwdriver? Jungle juice? No, thank you. We're actually here to find the owner of this ring. Wait, did my boyfriend give this to you? I left it in his dorm room last night when I was getting ready. Sure you don't want a drink? Thank you, we're sure. And we've got some bad news about Eric. We found him at the boat dock. He was murdered. Murdered? What? You're kidding, right? Huh, this is a joke? Did Ashley get you to do this? Because if she did, she can say goodbye to those yoga pants I borrowed. I promise you we're not kidding. We're campus security, investigating his murder. He was stabbed and his legs were eaten off by a large animal. Okay, you're hilarious. You should totes come to our next party. I'm gonna go get you a drink. You guys can help us finish the mixers. Matthew, I think we should probably talk to this girl again once she sobers up. Oh my goodness. Well, that didn't take long the second time around. Great, Matthew. Now let's get the sample you got from the victim's wet hat to Priya for examination. Okay, 3 hours, and I'll see you guys when these two are finished. And just to show that I'm done, take a look. I got the rest of the stars from all 5 present crime scenes. I'll see y'all soon. Okay, folks. A little bit of sniffles right now. Matthew, whatever chewed this guy's legs off, it was big. Some kind of monster? The wounds don't match any known animals, so this thing is definitely supernatural, but they're too messy for me to make an educated guess about what it could be. However, the stab wound in his stomach was very clean, so there was both a killer and an eater involved. And the direction of the stab wound shows without a doubt that your killer is left-handed. Matthew, looks like we're going to catch this killer left-handed. Gwen, I'm happy to see you back up and about again. You had us all so worried. I never thought I'd be free of that demon. I wish we knew who it was. But we can say for sure that it was someone with whom we've already crossed paths. It's possible they were disguised as a human, as demons are wont to do. Luckily you're better now, and we're all protected from that ever happening again. Yeah, and we've already got another mysterious murder to solve. A university student was found stabbed with his legs missing. We're hoping the sample Matthew took from the victim's hat would give us a clue. Yes, there was residue in the sample showing the presence of beef fillet, provolone cheese, and caramelized onions. That sounds like human food, not monster food. It must have been left by whoever stabbed the victim. Then confirmed that the victim had eaten nothing with those ingredients in the past 24 hours, so it was left by her killer. Seeing as how we're in Philadelphia, it's clear the residue came from a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. So your killer definitely enjoys Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. That's evidence of our killer for sure. Matthew, on a roll with this case. A hoagie roll, that is. Sorry guys, I had to put my jacket on. I was starting to... My sniffles were getting a little worse. Trying to commandeer it. Well, Matthew, now that I'm back on my feet, it was nice to get out for some fresh air. Little did I know I'd stumble on a case. And it's such a strange one. A member of the university rowing team was stabbed and had his legs eaten off by some unknown creature. So far we met the victim's girlfriend, who was too drunk from last night's party to even believe the murder was real. Then there's Muriel, a marine biology student who had no idea what could have eaten the victim's legs. And Johann, the university mascot, who is so committed to his character that he even speaks like a colonial cavalryman. I think it's going to take some more looking before... guys, do either of you speak Italian? No, why? There's someone here who wants to talk to you, but he's so upset he's only speaking in Italian. Well, tell him we're sorry, but... Per favor. Dimmi cosa è successo al mio compagno di stanza. The only word I know in Italian is maledizione, which is curse. We'll find out who this guy is in Chapter 2. Don't go anywhere. We've returned now. Let's start Chapter 2 of No Leg to Stand On. We last left off with meeting someone who speaks in Italian. Marcello Campiano. Whoa, slow down. Buongiorno. I am sorry. My name is Marcello Campiano. Where's my roommate, Eric Prince? He is dead. Cosa è successo? Yes, sadly, Eric is dead, and we would like to talk to you about that, if we may. You must tell me what happened to Eric. He is dead? Yes, he is dead. And you're his roommate? I am. I come from Italy to study poetry. I am in the class reading Dante's Inferno in our 21st century hellscape. Sounds dark. Dante said, the path to paradise begin in hell. I was scared to begin my journey here, but when I meet my roommate Eric, we become best friends. But now I hear a monster eat his legs, like a demon in Dante, chopping the people to pieces. Can you tell us anything else about Eric? Did he have any enemies? No, he was very nice. Eric, Guidato, guided me here, like the poet Virgil. But for information, you could go to the library. All the answers in the world are in the library. You know, that's not a bad idea. We might find something about our mystery creature there. Matthew, let's head to the library. Matthew, this poster has the victim on it. Looks like it's advertising the race the victim's team had coming up, and someone wrote something on it. Let's recover the text. And wait a minute, that globe has a lock on it. That means there's something important inside. Is it important to our case? We'll find out. A threatening note. Makeshift, kind of a parody of row, row, row your boat. So you've recovered the writing on the poster for the victim's regatta. It says, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If the kraken eats your legs, don't forget to scream. Matthew, this refers to the way Eric had his legs eaten off. We don't know if the creature that ate his legs was a kraken. But this poem sounds like it was written by the killer. We should see what Felix can tell us about where this text is from. Oh my god, Matthew, this globe has a human head in it. You're right, it looks like the head of the mascot guy we met. Does this mean there's 2 murders to solve? Ugh, I guess we'll get this head to bed for examination. Wah! Matthew, it just opened its eyes. Oh, it's only you. Thank God you found me. Some young hooligan locked me in that blasted thing, and I've been unable to scratch my nose for hours. I expect the rest of you will join us here shortly. In the meantime, would you be so kind as to scratch my nose for me? Let's just wait until your body gets here. Then we need to talk. That was pretty weird. Many thanks for recovering my better half. My body will be lost without it. So what's the deal? Are you a zombie or something? No! And do please keep your voice down. This is a library. I am nothing as vulgar as a zombie. I am a corporeal undead being called a revenant. And we aren't at all like those shuffling, slavering imbeciles. Now, you must not tell anyone of this. I had gone this long hidden in plain sight, disguised as the school mascot. But that Eric Prince learned my little secret when I tripped on a misplaced oar and my head detached. He told his companions, and ever since, they've seen fit to steal my head and trap it in improbable places. So how do we know you're not the one who killed Eric? His pranks went too far, and you lost your head. Lost your temper. I will not dignify that question with a response. I have walked the earth for 200 years. Even without murderous intervention, that boy's life would be but a blink of an eye compared to my eternal existence. I'll let the threatening note run its course. I'll see you when that's done. See y'all soon. Okay, we are back. Let's start the next, or let's get the results of the threatening note. You know, Matthew, as someone who's been in the mouth of a giant lizard and paralyzed because of it, this threat from your killer is pretty messed up. Agreed. Is there anything on the poster to indicate who wrote it? Nah, it's clean. No fingerprints or nothing, but the text itself was helpful. Apparently, this person who feeds other people to monsters wasn't creative enough to write this cute little poem about aquatic amputation themselves. It's from an Arthur Darkwood book. Dude's written a stack about krakens. Oh yeah, sometimes I forget that Arthur Darkwood isn't just a demon, but also a famous author. Clearly your killer's a big fan. So we're looking for a killer fan of Darkwood's books. Hope hacked into the university library system and found out those girls, Muriel and Vanessa, checked out Darkwood Kraken books recently. We'll add that to their suspect files. And speaking of Kraken, let's head back to the dock. Got it. Matthew, you found the victim's phone. Let's get it unlocked and see what's on it. And we can always count on digging in the trash to give us a clue. Gonna get the rest of the stars. Sit tight, everybody. Okay, I've gotten all stars. Let's get these out of the way. There we go. Perfect. The victim's phone is unlocked. Let's get it to Hope. torn paper. Matthew, why would someone tear up this magazine article before throwing it away? Let's put it back together and find out what it is. Matthew, the article you found torn up in the trash has a picture of a kraken. The title of the article is Indigenous Peoples, Boat Races, and Sacrifices to the Kraken. I've got to admit, the way the victim was stabbed and chewed on by a large creature, I'm starting to believe the kraken might be for real. The article is written by a Teresa Rosenthal. Let's ask Miss Rosenthal about this kraken business. Professor Rosenthal, we found an article you wrote about the kraken that lives in the river near the university campus. Lives? No, the kraken was only a legend believed by the local Shildmay people over 200 years ago. They paid it respect before their boat races held against other tribes in the region, and it was said that at the end of the race, the kraken consumed the losing team. Did you know that the Shildmay were mostly left-handed? I heard that when I was a little girl. Being left-handed myself, I couldn't resist learning more about them. Professor Rosenthal, we found a student, Eric Prince, murdered on the dock today. He was stabbed and a large creature ate his legs. We thought it might be the kraken. No, as I said, the kraken is only a myth. But worlds me, that murder sounds awful, heartbreaking and nauseating to imagine. Would you excuse me? I'm about to lose the Philly cheesesteak sandwich I had for lunch. And I'll see you guys when the unlocked phone has run its course. See y'all soon. Okay, we've returned. Let's get the results of the unlocked phone. Gwen, it's good to see you feeling better. That whole time you were here in our trailer raving about hallucinations, it was the first time I've ever actually felt alone. Ah, Hope, hearing you say that warms my heart. Speaking of hearts, it looks like your victim was popular with the ladies. In addition to his girlfriend Vanessa, he had a secret admirer, Muriel Cove. We know about Vanessa, but did you say Muriel? She said she barely knew him. Muriel sent him a text saying, "You're breaking my heart." And Eric responded, "Girl, I barely know you." It sounds like Muriel admired Eric from afar, but he wasn't interested. Poor Muriel. I bet she made an idiot of herself, like I used to do, desperate to be loved. Used to? Who are you, and what did you do with the real Gwen? Does this mean you're never going on doomed dates again? I think I'm taking a break from dating. This was one of the things the demon used to torture me. How pathetic I was, always looking for love. Anyway, thanks for the tip. If Muriel was secretly in love with the victim, we should talk to her. Muriel, you told us you didn't know Eric well, but we found your text. Were you in love with him? Oh, you found that. Look, I sent that message to him in a moment of weakness. I was upset. I immediately knew it was a mistake, but it was too late, so I went and ate a huge Philly cheesesteak sandwich to forget about it. I hope he didn't do something drastic that would hurt both of you, if you know what I mean. I didn't kill him. Cross my heart and hope to die. Look, I'm sorry, but I've got to go finish a paper. Did you see that, Matthew? When Muriel said she didn't kill Eric, she raised her left hand. Just despite her denial, let's keep our eye on this spurned lover. I can't reconcile it, Matthew. It's clear that Eric's legs were eaten off by an unknown creature. But everyone keeps telling us that the River Kraken is just a myth. I'd love to believe them, but I've been doing this too long to be skeptical. I mean, look at Johann Zeit. What did he call himself? A revenant? We found his head locked in a globe and then had a conversation with him. I'd like to see what the archaeology professor thinks of that. Maybe then she'd change her tune about the whole Kraken myth. We talked to the victim's roommate, Marcelo, who said they were very close. And speaking of close to the victim, I feel for Muriel's unrequited love story. I've been there more times than I can count. But I never killed anyone because of it. I really hope she didn't either. Matthew, come quick! There's a big freakout happening in the campus library. I'll see you guys for Chapter 3. Okay, we are back to start Chapter 3 of No Light to Stand On. We last left off with Felix telling us that something is going on in the campus library. What's going on? I don't know. I was just there to do some research and people started screaming. Well, that doesn't sound good. Let's go, Matthew. Somebody's got to do something. Do something about what? What's going on? I saw it. It was a ghost. You saw a ghost here in the library? I saw it too, but it wasn't a ghost. It was like a monster, and it had super long arms, like tentacles. You're all wrong. Didn't you hear about that guy, Eric something? He was murdered. There's a killer walking among us. Everyone, calm down. We are investigating the Eric Prince incident. Unless someone has something real to discuss with us, there's no point in causing a riot. Otherwise, get your things and go. Man, Matthew, that could have gotten ugly. Now that we've got the library to ourselves, let's take a look around. Maybe there's something more to be found here. There we go. Don't think I'm gonna get the first star though. Spent too long looking for the boat paddle. Nope. Well. No. Matthew, this is an oar, like the victim used to use on his rowing team. But why is it here in the library? And there are crumbs of something on it. Let's collect a sample. And this looks like an old dagger sheath. Could this be from the knife used to stab the victim? Ben hadn't identified the blade that was used. This could be an important clue to us. We should adjust it for fingerprints. And look, here's one of the library's tablets. Let's unlock it and see if there's anything helpful on it. Moment, folks. Okay, now I got a couple stars, so let's get this out of the way. Okay, Matthew, we've got the fingerprints dusted on that dagger sheath. You know, we could try identifying the prints, but the FBI is going to have a more complete database than we do. I heard Agent Matheson was coming to talk to the chief anyway, so let's have Matheson check these prints. Okay, 9 hours. Also enjoying a few potato wedges from KFC. Great, the tablet's unlocked. Hey, is that the victim's girlfriend's FriendNet profile? This conversation here looks heated. Vanessa's last message to him says, "What do I need to do to get you off my back?" Let's go ask Vanessa about this. I sure hope she's sobered up since our first conversation. Hey, you look familiar, I think. Did I meet you at the party last night? Sort of. It was this morning, and it looked like you were the only one left at the party. We're still investigating the murder of your boyfriend. Wait, that murder thing was real? I thought he wasn't answering my text because he was mad at me. Why was he mad at you? He said I party too much. I told him that's what college is for. I've already got almost perfect grades. Partying is how I unwind. But he wanted me to do boring stuff. Sit in restaurants, sit in movies, sit watching him while he sits and rows a freaking boat. I couldn't stand all that sitting. I'm a left-handed Gemini, you know. You probably guessed that just from meeting me. It's totes ob. So you know I've got too much stuff I want to do. Just give me a Philly cheesesteak sandwich and get out of my way, you know. I totally get it. I felt the same way for most of my 20s. I just hope you didn't kill to get that freedom. Eric Road to Hell. Matthew, with those crumbs out of the way, there's a message written on this ore. It says, Eric, road to hell. Who threatened the victim like this? Identifying the crumbs you collected should help us figure that out. Let's get them under the microscope. Italian biscotti. Matthew, the stuff on the ore is crumbs of biscotti. Biscotti is a type of biscuit that originally comes from Italy. I think that makes it pretty clear whose this was. Let's go find Marcello. Marcello, did you ever go out in a boat with Eric? Yes, he showed me the boat, but I have a problem with boats, and I throw out when I am on water. Throw out? Oh, you mean throw up? Why did you go then? He convinced me to go. I say okay, and I bring my book. It is a very old book, not in print, but I believe I will keep it safe. Then in the boat, Eric splashed the paddle, and it splashed on my book. All wet. The book ruined. Avevo un diavolo per capello. I was so angry. Did you do anything to get back at Eric? I am not a violent person. I just go and I get Philadelphia cheesesteak sandwich. And I pretend the sandwich is the face of Eric, and I eat it. Maybe you didn't used to be a violent person, but hopefully you stopped at eating a sandwich. And we'll see you guys when the fingerprints have run their course. See y'all soon. Well, guys, I have been given a free happy hour of ×6 combos, but I'm only down to 10 minutes of it. But I'm going to speed this up anyway for 8. Let's get the results from Agent Matheson now. Hello, Matthew. Your chief here tells me you've had some hair-raising adventures with supernatural baddies lately. You don't want to know. We've dealt with some really dark stuff. I asked Matheson if the FBI knows anything about some stolen museum artifacts, the Scimitar of Carpathia and the manuscript of Benbecula. Chief Arrow is right, Agent Matheson. Those artifacts have serious supernatural significance and seem to have fallen into the worst possible hands. I'm aware they're missing. The FBI investigated the thefts, but never caught the culprits. If a new lead turns up, you'll be the first to know. Anyway, I do have some good news. I identified the fingerprints on the sheath you brought me, Professor Teresa Rosenthal. The archaeology professor, we know her. Matthew, we've got to go talk to her about this. Professor Rosenthal, we found this dagger sheath and we found your fingerprints on it. Yes, I had a look at it. It's a fabulous artifact, possibly dating from the Viking period. We suspect this is the sheath of the dagger used to kill Eric Prince. Oh no, I had no idea. What disregard for human life and human history. Also, the dagger itself is now missing. Do you have any idea where it might be? Of course not. When I handled it, I didn't even remove the dagger from its sheath. I was only looking out of curiosity. But I can tell you that the dagger's handle was metal, sculpted to resemble the legendary Kraken. It reminded me of something from an Arthur Darkwood novel. I was never much for fiction, but that odd duck, Johann Zeit, recommended Darkwood's books to me, and I've been hooked ever since. Thank you for the info. Please keep your eyes peeled for that dagger. Wow, Matthew, there's a lot to take in with this case. Vanessa and Marcello both had tensions flare with Eric recently. Vanessa felt stifled by Eric, and Marcello felt Eric threw his precious book into harm's way. Meanwhile, Professor Rosenthal saw what might be the murder weapon, but all we found of it was the sheath. She described the dagger itself, so we'll know if we see it. And we still haven't figured out what the heck ate the victim's legs. There's more work to do, Matthew. I think we should revisit the campus garden where the victim hung out. I have a good feeling I'm going to be able to get all 5 stars by the time this is over. Son of a gun, I'm not gonna get it. Nope. Hey, someone left a copy of an Arthur Darkwood book here. It's called Interview with the Chupacabra. We know Eric's killer reads Arthur Darkwood. This could be theirs. There's a stain on the cover. Let's get a sample. And if the killer was here, they could have hidden something in this bucket of gardening tools. Let's dig through it. Matthew, if you weren't here as my partner on this case, I'd be up the creek without a paddle. Let's get to work. Moment, folks. Okay. I have all 5 stars collected. I spent a little time extra trying to get a high score, since I could afford it. Got it. Great, Matthew. You've got a sample from the Arthur Darkwood book. Let's send it to Priya. Got it, finally. There's the dagger. Matthew, someone hid this bloody dagger in those gardening tools. And the handle is a kraken, just as Professor Rosenthal described. This is definitely the dagger that goes with the sheath you found in the library. And the blood means this could be the murder weapon. Let's get it to Priya to confirm. We'll see you guys when these 2 are finished. See y'all soon. Okay, we are back. And let's get the results. Maria, was there anything helpful in the sample Matthew took from that Arthur Darkwood book? Yes, the sample you gave me was mostly propylene glycol, sodium carbonate, and aluminum silicate, which is a typical combination of ingredients in polish for silver jewelry. Thankfully, there was no silver in the actual sample, or my werewolf blood would be burning right now. You said it's mostly silver polish. Was there something else in the sample? Yes, juice from caramelized onions and beef, which proves that the book is your killer's. Therefore, we know your killer wears silver jewelry. Matthew, I can tell by the silvery glint in your eye that we're getting close to catching our killer. Matthew, I know you're eager to know about this dagger you found, so I'll tell you right now. Ben confirmed that its dimensions match the victim's wounds perfectly. This is definitely your murder weapon. That's great news. Is there anything else about the dagger that can point us to the killer? I found residue on it that turned out to be detangling shampoo, which is used on long hair. That means your killer has long hair. Matthew, we're a hair's breadth from catching this killer. Matthew, we have enough evidence to catch Eric Prince's killer. Let's go get him. Got her. Muriel Cove. Muriel Cove, we know it was you who stabbed Eric Prince, and then you had some creature eat his legs. What? That's so grisly. Why would I do that to anyone? Maybe it was because you refused your romantic advances. Romantic advances? I had no interest in Eric. Really? What about those texts then? You said you're breaking my heart. It's Vanessa I'm in love with. Eric was the one standing in my way. You had a crush on Eric's girlfriend, Vanessa? More than a crush. I happened to swim by the dock when Vanessa was with Eric in a boat, and I saw her look down into the water, and it felt as if she was looking right at me. I followed their boat for a while. I heard her laugh. I heard her talk about all the amazing parties and things she's done. I wanted to do those things too, together, with her. Wait, you heard all that while you were just hanging out under their boat? How long can you hold your breath? I didn't have to hold my breath then. I was a mermaid. You're a what? But you have legs. I do now, yes. I sought the cricket's help because she was the only one who could grant my wish to walk on land. So it's true, the cricket exists, and it turned you into a human. Yes, and I approached Vanessa at a party and confessed my love to her. But she turned me down, said she loved Eric. Clearly, Vanessa and Eric weren't good for each other. They argued all the time, almost never did anything together, so I begged Eric to break it off. But he refused. My only option was to get him out of the way myself. So you found that dagger in the library and killed it with it, and fed his legs to the cricket as payment, like a twisted version of the Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid? I don't know what that is, but everything happened like I told you. If you think you can just turn back into a mermaid and slink back into the water, you've got another thing coming. I have no intention of going back to the sea or evading punishment. I'm human now. I'll face the consequences as a human. I love running and jumping, feeling the wind, and just generally being dry. Breathing air instead of fish poop is also a plus. And I want to finish my marine biology degree. Well, you'll have to do that in prison. We're turning you over to the cops for murder. Matthew, what a roller coaster ride this case was. We met a mermaid who became human and committed murder. We finally got to the bottom of the mystery of what chewed off the victim's legs. A kraken. She's the one who turned Muriel human. What a crazy case to get me back in the saddle after my recovery. Now we should regroup to see about finding the 5th key and learning more about the dead demon who made it. And I'll see you guys for the Keys to the Kingdom 1-5. We have returned. Let's start Keys to the Kingdom 1-5. Matthew solving Eric Prince's murder was a roller coaster ride, and his killer turned out to be a mermaid turned human. On top of that, we met a real-life headless member of the undead. Now that that's over, we can get back to our search for the 5th key to the cave to the Demon Queen. We have to find it before the evil demons do, or they'll take over our world. But all we know about that 5th key is that it was created by a demon named Rathimiel, who was in the rebellion with Arthur Darkwood. Rathimiel is dead now, and we know nothing more about him or his human identity. You know, Matthew, Arthur said Rathimiel was hiding here on the East Coast after the war. If that's true, the Revenant dude might have crossed paths with him. That's a great idea, Felix, and we could also talk to Muriel. Given her supernatural origins, she might know something about demons, their queen, and the keys. No stone unturned, right? Perfect, Matthew. Let's talk to Johann and Muriel and see what they know. Johann, this may seem like a strange question, but do you know anything about demons? Demons? I'm unsure of what you mean. You know, demons, powerful evil creatures from the netherworld. Ever come across any? Perhaps. I must confess, I've seen a lot in my 200 years walking this earth. However, I have kept a diary all this time, so there may be something of help written in there. Some hooligans were harassing me while I was writing in it earlier and chose to hold on tighter to my head than the journal. So it was lost somewhere near the dock. Wonderful. Let's go look for it, Matthew. I guess I don't have an unread message yet. Matthew, this old leather-bound book looks like Johann's diary. Look, it's even got a headless horseman engraved on the cover. Not very subtle for something people usually prefer to keep private. But whatever, let's get it open. Matthew. Now that Johann's diary is unlocked, let's have Felix search through it for any mention of Rathimiel. Muriel, now that we know you used to be a mermaid, we can reveal to you that we're supernatural hunters. I thought there was something strange about you. You didn't freak out as much as I expected when I told you my secret. Yeah, this wasn't our first rodeo. But we wanted to ask you, are creatures of the sea aware of demons? We know of them, of course, but we are not keepers of lore. For that, you'll need to ask the Kraken. She is the oldest and wisest of aquatic beings. But she doesn't like being disturbed, and you see what she could do to you if you're not protected. Yeah, not good. How do we protect ourselves? I had an amulet that protected me. It's in my bag, but the bag was left in the university garden when I got arrested. Matthew, let's get back to campus and find that bag. There's also some money left in it, which you can have. I won't be needing it in here. I agree, Matthew. This is the only bag I see, and the pattern and colors match the dress Muriel was wearing in kind of a fishy way. Of course, I mean fishy in a good way. Let's see if the protective amulet is in here. The amulet was in Muriel's bag, Matthew. Now, I don't want to be a party pooper, but Muriel already fed one person to the Kraken. We've got to make sure this is a protective amulet, not a dinner bell. Before we rush out to ask the Kraken about demons, I think we should have Felix check this thing out. "6 hours? I'll see you guys when these two are finished. See y'all soon." Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of the antique diary. Felix, what did you learn from reading Johann Zeit's diary? First of all, this dude is fascinating. He's been undead and hiding in plain sight with a detachable head for 200 years. If it were me, I'd find myself a cave or haunted house or something to hole up in. But Johann don't care. He's just chilling. Do you see anything in there about Rathimiel? Well, in several entries in the few years leading up to the millennium, Johann mentions a guy called the Pilgrim. He says the Pilgrim is ageless like the air, rootless like a river, walking the earth in human form. The Pilgrim knows things that baffle others, can see into their minds and pluck jewels from their thoughts, and can seemingly be in any place in the blink of an eye. Mind reading and teleportation. Sounds like a demon, all right. Maybe discussing the Pilgrim with Johann will jog his memory and get us more info. Johann, there's writing in your diary about the Pilgrim leading up to the year 2000. Does that ring any bells? Of course, the Pilgrim. How could I have forgotten? They were someone you knew? No, but I heard tell of his powers. It was all dismissed as paranoia and hearsay. But I remember now a man who accused the Pilgrims of mind reading to win a card game. The man chased the Pilgrim into the street, where he suddenly disappeared. And simultaneously, a hunter returning home saw a man matching the Pilgrim's description appear in the forest road before him. The two locations were miles apart. Interesting. I can provide a final piece of information. There is a well-known ritual among Highsmith students involving something called the Pilgrims Map. It is a ragged old parchment here in the library, a map of the East Coast. The student's superstition is that if you touch this map the day before your exams, you will pass. Now I must be going. Many thanks for returning my diary. Matthew, if we're right, and this Pilgrim is indeed Rathimiel, the demon we're looking for, then the map Johann mentioned could give us another clue. Let's take a look around for that map. But first, can we grab a bite to eat? I'm getting hungry. Got it. That's got to be the Pilgrim's Map, Matthew. It's ragged, old, and features the East Coast. There are some faded markings on it. Let's recover them. This writing confirms it's the Pilgrim's Map. And look, there's a circle here in upstate New York. Okay, so we have a mysterious pilgrim person who has the abilities of a demon and who appeared here around the time Rathimiel would have been hiding here as a human. If the Pilgrim and Rathimiel are one and the same, this map could be our key to learning more about Rathimiel's human disguise. When we're back at the base, we'll brief the team on these new developments. Now the amulet. Felix, will this amulet Muriel gave us actually protect us from the Kraken, or was she just pulling our leg? I can tell you this thing is the real deal, and you're going to want to wear it talking to that thing. How does it even work? Could this thing just grab us if it wanted? The amulet is made from an ancient singing stone. What's a singing stone? Well, I had the amulet on my desk, and Priya came in here like, what's that wonderful sound? It puts out this frequency that humans can't hear, but to other creatures, like krakens and werewolves, it's super calming. So the amulet's totally legit. Keep this in your pocket to talk to the kraken, and she'll be cool as a sea cucumber. I hope you're right. Well, Matthew, now that we know we're protected, let's go have a word with the kraken. Kraken? Miss Kraken, are you there? Muriel didn't say there was a special way to summon the Kraken. I wonder if we... Who dares call upon me? Ah! Please don't eat us. Matthew, it doesn't seem like the amulet is calming her. Ooh, that familiar ringing. What a beautiful sound. Miss Kraken, ma'am, we're supernatural investigators, and we wondered if we might ask you a few questions. You have my attention. We wanted to ask you about your knowledge of demons. The demons are rising once again, as they did a quarter century ago. Their queen grows stronger, or so we hear. And the demons have stolen a precious object from me, a sextant, old as the ages. Where can we find more information? We're running out of time. I am making a pilgrimage to Niagara Falls now. It is the most haunted place on this earth. If you seek knowledge of dark forces, you must go there, but be warned, you will put yourself in grave danger there. We understand the risk, but it's a bigger risk if we don't do anything. There will be a supernatural ball held there soon. Here, you may mask yourselves to be in attendance. Okay, so talking to Johan totally gave us a possible lead on Rathimiel. Apparently Rathimiel was known in human circles as the Pilgrim, and made a map where he circled upstate New York. What we'll find up there, we don't know. But that's where we've got to go next. Conveniently, the Kraken, who didn't eat us, thanks to the amulet, told us to head to Niagara Falls to learn more about the dark forces. You said there's a supernatural ball happening. We should try to go to that. Yeah, someone there's got to know something about Rathimiel. So it's settled, Matthew. Niagara Falls, here we come. We unlocked the... Oh, hello. Well, apparently I can't get into there until I get to the south. So let's go back into here. we're going to get to case 22 on March 12th, which is another Thursday. I'll see y'all soon. Well, first of all, before I go, I still got the sticker packs to open. Okay. So one more district and we'll be finished with this. So I'll be seeing you guys on March 12th. I'll see y'all soon again.